go.
Ah, you fucking piece of shit.
Mm.
All right,
Mm.
welcome back to the Coaching Collective podcast. My name is James. I am joined here today by Michael, Rick, Anthony, and Jude. We're going to do another bro chat down under. So I don't know what the topics of conversation are going to be, but the topic of conversation that we were having before we started pressing record was what supplement brand would we want to be sponsored by? So let's start with Jude.
Right. All right. Perfect. You asked me first. I think everyone's going to say the same thing. So,
No,
um,
but yeah.
as we discussed, raw would be mad, but the problem is it's only in America. So, the
Oh,
good thing
actually,
about
let me
like
check that actually.
raw, revive, all of them, it's like as Anthony also said, they do health subs, they do protein, they do all that kind of stuff. It does everything. So it's like one stop shop. So I'd have to go with them.
Oh, so
What do you think?
they do it all.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, yeah, they do.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, Raw, technically Raw don't,
Yeah, but revive do. But I
but
don't know if it's
Revive do, and they're sort of like,
together.
I think they're like a sister company.
Yeah.
Yeah, because none of the companies really do health subs at all when you really think about it. Like
I
health
think
stuff.
they,
When you
They're
say
just
health
generic.
stuff, what are we alluding
Like
to?
when I think of health stuff, I'm thinking like PED assistance
like
or like deeper
Stack.
health issue assistance.
Yeah, so something that's targeted for like liver, kidneys, heart,
Yeah.
maybe like
Oh,
some blood pressure over the counter management.
yeah. Actually, believe it or not, I started using the immune supplement needs when I was sick last week. I felt like that worked really well.
Mhm.
Immune.
Yeah, we got it for free from Andy.
I always seem to use the Bioceuticals Armor Force and find that works pretty well too.
Mm. The bioceuticals range is always it's all really good. Yeah, because I found I used liposomal glutathione by bioceuticals for a long time, and I noticed my lab work was the best it ever was when I had that in.
Mm.
Glutathione is underrated as fuck.
Yeah, this was like one of the, and they're like make one of the only products which is actually good and absorption's great
Yeah,
without.
especially liposomal.
Yeah, but I said for supplement company, I said supplement needs, like direct supplement needs. But then again, then you do neglect the protein powder element of it. They do protein powders.
I do. And
Yeah.
apparently good.
Yeah, I've only tried the vegan one and that I don't do vegan protein, so
You
yeah.
can
You know what? I
order.
didn't mind the vegan one. I thought it was all right.
If you've got any clients with like GIT issues or like acne issues when it comes to whey protein, vegan is a really good alternative that like
Mm,
Mm.
shouldn't be overlooked in that regard.
It's more
And
just like
mixability is apparently really good as well.
yeah, I use Macro Mike a little bit for vegan, but I just use Macro Mike for I do like I make a peanut butter paste with it, like and I
Yeah,
put
nice.
yeah. Yeah, because I just buy a little bag because we had a sample box from Izzy's mum. She gave it to us for Christmas, and I just thought one day I'm like, oh, like I could make this instead of using the almond butter. Like, let's see how it tastes, and it was better because
I've
you.
recently started doing that. I've done like whey paste with the PB2, pouring that over frozen yogurt and berries with frozen mango, which I noticed from your recent YouTube, Michael. Big fan.
I'm a massive. I'd go through 2 kilos of mango a week.
just need a
Fair
Yeah.
enough.
you just need a Ninja Creamy, Rick.
I bought one and it annoyed me because I was so excited to use it. And then I realized you got to freeze it like the
Yeah, the
night
night
before.
before. Yeah.
And then it got to the point where my sister, who I'm coaching, like she's like, "Oh, I really just like want ice cream." I'm like, just take the Ninja Creamy, like, because I'll always forget. It'll get to the end of the day, I'm like,
Yeah.
"Oh, forgot again." So I just gave it away.
In prep, when I was fat loading, because it was doing 50 to 60 grams of almond butter and 50 to 60 grams of whey, I'd make it creamy with that.
Yeah,
That was good as.
yeah.
Yeah. But then after prep, I started doing it like low fats, and it was just not the same.
The taste buds change, eh?
Oh no, it's just icy if you don't have the fats in it.
Oh, true, true, true.
Yeah, it's still good. But yeah, considering there's hardly any calories if you do it like that. But the almond butter just made it fucking nuts.
Oh,
Remember me eating the fucking
It made it nuts.
yeah.
yeah.
Fucking idiot. Uh, uh,
What did you enjoy more, the fat load or the carb load?
the carb load. The fat load, you're still hungry.
Yeah,
Yeah, and there's volumes low. So the fat load probably tasted better because remember I was obsessed with peanut butter and beef mince.
yeah.
Because I didn't do beef mince like beef at all prep. I think I didn't do it up until like my first peak week, and I was like, fuck, I forgot how good beef tastes.
That would have felt so good getting that red
Yeah.
meat in.
And I buy real beef, like I buy beef from the butcher, so it's quite nice. Yeah. And I
Full
think I
fat?
did 10% one peak week as well. What did you say?
Did you go the full fat beef mince too?
I did 10%, yeah.
10%, yeah.
Yeah, because now I do like just rump beef mince because the butcher up the road just minces a rump.
Oh, it's so good.
Nice. Yeah, it's much better than Woolworths. I haven't bought it from like Woolworths or Coles in like ages.
It's dead.
Yeah, I think I did a little bit just in the like the normal my normal days towards the end of prep, just because I started to like beef.
Mm,
But that was just because I knew that I was getting 5%.
yeah.
You go to these butchers and you say, "You sure it's 5%?" They're like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah." And then you get home and you eat it, and you're like, "This is a fucker 5%."
Never.
Yeah.
Remember my dad telling me a story from like because the supermarkets we had and the butcher, he's like, oh yeah, with the lean mince we sell, all we do is we just mince it more.
I don't know.
I'm not
Really?
sure like if that means they just mince it more. It's like, but does the fat content change or yeah, I have trust issues with that.
I
So
don't.
I would only go to like a proper butcher if like I was getting full fat beef mince,
Yeah,
to be
so
honest.
but
Steak.
in Asia, like Thailand and Bali, you wouldn't be getting beef at all.
I like do everything I can to still be able to, but like the
Yeah,
leanest cut you can get is tenderloin. There's a place there that says they sell 0% fat beef mince,
yeah,
which
Yeah.
is obviously not
obviously
true.
correct. Yeah,
And there was a stage where I was like, yeah, let's just get this and I'll track it as 5%. I'm just like, nah, I'm not risking it. It's
yeah,
probably full fat beef mince.
mm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But when I'm back here, like every one of my meat meals is red meat.
yeah. See, I do the same, but I do get worried because I have had elevated
All
blood pressure
mine.
before.
All my meals are red meat
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and you
every
have
single
Thai
one.
as well.
Do you boys notice that? Like when you eat red meat, you notice like you just feel better?
Oh fuck yeah.
Yeah,
That's
it
why I
tastes
do
way
it.
better.
That's why I do it. I also sort of can't stand chicken.
Ah, I
Yeah,
hate
I
chicken.
don't do chicken at the moment.
Yuck.
I just hate it. I
Yeah,
can't do it. It's boring. Well, it's not boring, but like it's just like shit. I hate the fact that like the reason I like mince and just beef in general is because if I undercook it, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Whereas
Yeah.
chicken, I have to sit there and have to make sure it's cooked.
Make sure it's cooked.
Yeah, if my steak's a little bit on the closer to the rare side than it is on the medium rare side, I'm like, ah well,
you're talking to the man that gets eye fillet for his meal prep. Yeah,
who me?
yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Love that.
I
I
haven't
feel it.
progressed in ages. I
I
just get
started doing. I did gravy beef this week, and I just slow cooked it on Sunday, and I'm just
That's
going.
lean as, isn't it?
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Actually
Mhm.
enjoying it. Just took 4.5 hours to cook. That was the only problem on Sunday. So
Yeah, you need a slow cooker for it as well. I'm obsessed with the rice cooker at the moment as well. I feel like rice cooker rice is the best.
Oh, always.
yeah.
Yeah, like I won't even touch anything else. So yeah, just cook it all at the start of the day for 2 days and it's good.
What
Mm.
else would you do?
Microwave.
Oh, okay. So like
Yeah,
Cooks it in the
just
microwave.
I just cook it in the microwave safe container until we discover the rice cooker.
it makes such a difference.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because like I even go to restaurants and I just want to eat rice. We even did that on Friday night, James, with the fucking Asian.
Wait, what?
When I got Chinese, I got it because I just wanted rice.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I got like a brisket with rice. I was fucking mad.
That
But
was a
it
big
was
win in Bangkok. Like even if you
yeah,
go to a steak place, you can get a side of rice.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't do that here. Because
You
we went
can't.
to Wanko last night and we were like, I'm like, I just want rice. We sat in the car.
And
Should
don't
just
get bread.
bring meal prep rice and just like get them to heat it up for you.
Slap it on the table. The cafe actually told me off the other day for trying to eat my meal there.
I find that weird because you've been going there for so long and you
Nah,
literally.
she said it was OH&S.
What?
Yeah,
For
because I
who?
get sick off it.
That's fucking wild to me.
Yeah, and I like prepped the meal. I was ready to go. I'm like, I'll have a coffee, I'll eat. And then I got there and she's like, oh, you can't do that. And I'm just like, you just ruined my whole day, mate.
I was in prep at Easter.
Yeah.
I was having chicken and asparagus. I think it was
Yeah.
2 weeks out, and I was at the Peacock,
Yeah.
and I was sitting inside, and I was eating, and then this chick comes over and went to school with her, and like she was one of like the good girls, and she like
Yeah.
hated like the wogs, so she just hated me anyway.
Mm.
And she comes up to me and she goes, "You have to eat that outside, or get out of here. Like you have to leave." And
Yeah.
I said, "Why?" She goes, "It's disrespectful to the chefs that are cooking." And I just like looked at her, looked back down, and I like grabbed my asparagus, just kept eating it. I just finished it. I was
Just
like,
said
"Bro."
you're diabetic.
Yeah, I was like, bro, if she wants to kick me out, she can come fucking pick me up because I'm not leaving.
Yeah, no, you just say you're diabetic and they can't touch you.
Yeah, I just didn't say anything. I just looked at her and I just kept eating, and she walked off like furious. I was like, get
Yeah, it's
fucked.
probably just trying to be a bitch.
Yeah, that I think so.
Being
Yeah,
racist
in
because
there.
you're
You still
white.
got people with you buying food.
Yeah, bro, we had a massive table of people.
Yeah, nah, it makes no sense. Because even when I was at that place, I'm like, I'll just go sit on the corner and eat. And then I had my laptop and stuff, and I'm like, oh, I don't really want to leave the laptop here.
Hmm.
Because I always work at the cafes in the morning. Obviously,
Mm.
you don't have that luxury at the moment, Rick, but
Mm.
Yeah, because I get to the cafe like this morning I got there at 6:15 or 6:30.
So like no one there.
No, and I just get my coffee because like I've found since coming out of prep two, I just can't keep myself going as well as I could in the mornings.
Mm.
Yeah, like as in before it was just like I'd wake up 3:30 and like I'd be going until all day pretty much. Now
Just
like
riding that cortisol wave.
yeah, now I wake up about 4:30 and by like 6:15 I'm sitting there just staring at my computer like fuck.
Yeah.
But it hasn't helped the last 2 days because it's so cold down here. I sit on the couch for the first couple of hours.
You get too cozy.
Oh, and then I put my head back and I start to fall asleep and it's like yeah. I felt better in prep than I do now.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
funny.
more switched on.
Yeah, way sharper, way more motivated, way more excited and enthusiastic for life. Now,
You had an extrinsic motivator.
say it again.
You had an extrinsic motivator.
Yeah. Nah, now it's just like, all right, let's get everything done.
Now
It's
you can see why people like come out of preps and they're like already want to go straight back into prep, hey?
yeah,
Yeah.
I definitely don't want to go straight back in. I don't miss
Nah,
it.
then you get about 4 weeks post prep, and you're like, nah, fuck this.
Yeah. No, I don't. Look, even the food, like you get over it a bit, but like I feel worse on higher food too, energy wise.
Yeah.
Oh, it's terrible. I could
Training
pretty
is
much
much
eat a meal
better.
and just sleep.
Say it again, Jude.
I could just eat a meal now and just sleep for like 3 hours.
Yes, that's what I mean.
It's the worst.
Training's way better and like energy levels for that kind of concept, but for just like day to day, it's no different. Besides, when you have to go for a walk, you're not dragging your feet.
Yeah.
You
Mm.
know, sit down after 5 minutes of walking.
You're not
Uh,
going hypo.
yeah, I never got that, thankfully.
Oh, no way.
No, yeah, no. I didn't really struggle, man, to be honest. Yeah, it was just like those little things. Like we went for a walk one night in Fitzroy, and after about 3 minutes, I said, "We got to go home. I can't do this." Yeah, I'm like, it's just too much. I'm like, "Oh, we can sit down." Then we sat down 5 minutes, and I had to finish the steps.
It's funny. I remember like hearing a story about JP, like Jordan
Mm,
Peters. And
mm.
apparently when he was at his heaviest, when he'd go for a walk, he'd bring like a lounge chair with him. And then he would just like sit
Wow.
down and like take a rest. And his like steps goal for the day was like 4,000.
That's fucked.
He's like the definition of someone who like just dies, but like lives and dies by it though.
Did you see his
Like,
post recently?
About
His,
trying.
That was unreal. Love
yeah,
that.
where he's
I
talking
don't know
about.
if that was recently him though. I
Hmm?
reckon that was an old photo.
No, it wasn't
Oh,
him, man.
The
yeah,
caption.
yeah.
The
No, I'm
caption.
talking
Oh, the
about the
cap.
caption. Yeah,
The caption.
What was
Yeah.
the caption?
he's just pretty much just like losing his mind about people talking about fatigue and all this shit. And he's like, "What the fuck's fatigue? Like, I just train till I literally die." And he's
Yeah.
just look all these people
Yeah.
that talk about fatigue, all these like skinny cunts. He's going off about all this shit.
Mm.
Was that the one
It's
where he was
true.
talking about like all the natty competitors in the UK as well? And he was saying how they just like train
Nah.
like absolute animals they don't have PEDs in, and they
Oh,
still
he did bring up in there. He brought up AJ Morris
yeah,
and
because he
stuff
talks about
as
like
well.
AJ, and he talks about
Yeah, the other
Keith
guy.
West as well,
Yeah,
and
yeah, him.
yeah,
I think the point that he was trying to make is it doesn't matter if you're natural, you still got to train to failure. And then he referred to those two lads that just
Yeah,
said they've
yeah,
done it, they've hacked it.
Well, if you pay attention, even like just on a surface level, if you, I don't know what your guys' client base is like, but if I look at all my clients, no one progresses well who doesn't train hard.
yeah, for sure.
The guys that progress the best are the guys that train really, really well, and I feel like it's just an untapped element of the programming which is so basic
mm,
Mm,
that people just don't acknowledge. Like you can dial everything else in, but like even people think they train hard. Then I've trained with them, and I've been like, "What the fuck is this?"
mm.
mm.
You know what I mean? It's like it's not even failure.
Mm.
It's something I feel like I repeat so often in my content, but it's just something that needs to be reminded so often because if you get complacent with your training, like you're holding yourself back.
Yeah.
And also it's a learned thing where you don't actually know how far you can push yourself until you truly, truly
Mm.
Push yourself.
take out that mindset of like, oh no, I'm done here. Like, no, actually find out, like
Mm.
take it all the way. Because like coaching in person, the amount of times that would happen where a client would come in and be like, yeah, I know how to train hard and get it on the leg
Mm.
press, get to like 11 reps and they'll be like, oh, I'm done. Like, nah, and they get like another seven. So
Yeah,
imagine you do that across every set, across the entire week. Like, how many effective reps are you going to accumulate that are going to be stimulating muscle growth?
And it's like 15 sets in a session, and they're like, "Nah, it's too easy." It's like, no, you just don't train hard enough.
Yeah.
Like 15 sets for me, I'd be cooked. Oh no,
Adding more volume isn't going to fix your intensity
yeah,
problem.
yeah, no. Guys are more willing to jam gear than they are to like try to get their training right.
Mm.
Yeah, it's like, oh, more dose, more dose, more dose. The one that kills them the most as well is like I was talking to the guys about this yesterday. I won't go too into detail. The guys that think they know it all as well, they're the hardest people to coach.
Doctors are the worst patients.
Yeah, oh, I know how to do. Like I had a guy the other week. I know what I'm doing. I want to work with you because I just want you to be on my back.
I just want some guidance.
Yeah, and
I don't
just
really
thinking,
want
mate,
guidance.
you don't know what you're doing, but that's okay.
Yeah.
And if you ever think you know it all,
Yeah.
like that is just a direct indicator that you don't.
Well, I
Mm,
was like, there was something pops up on like my feed the other day, and it was like a person going around asking people, would you rather be the smartest person in the room or the dumbest person in the room? And it was like such mixed bags for people, but you could really tell that it was like, you could tell that it was the people that weren't smart saying they wanted to be the smartest in the room
Mhm.
as well.
No.
I'd
If you're
always,
the smartest in the room, you're not learning anything.
Yeah.
yeah. It's a hard environment with what we do to associate with people who are smarter than you, though. Like, not, no, no, it's not right. It's
Well,
hard in our industry to really affiliate with people closely. Do you get
In
what
what
I'm saying?
in what sense? What do you mean?
Like, we all communicate, for example, but like, it's not like we cross-reference work and talk about concepts regularly.
I disagree.
Yeah. But not
Me
as
and
regularly as someone you would in like an office setting where you're surrounded by higher ups and stuff.
mm,
I from my point of view, I reckon in the last like 2 months, for example, I probably consulted with Rick maybe 2 or 3 times, and maybe 3 times with Jude. And it's mainly if I'm like, I want to make this change,
Mhm.
and I think it's a good change to make. I just don't know if it's an emotional like knee-jerk reaction
Mhm.
Mm.
or if it's the best thing for the client. And then I'll consult with someone who's not emotionally tied into the situation. And then usually, like I haven't had a situation where it's been like, nah, that's the wrong move, but maybe just subconsciously wanting that reassurance from someone who's not kind of tied
Yeah.
into the situation. But I think yeah, like we do have heaps of I guess resources at our fingertips. Like even me and you, Michael, with prep,
Yeah,
like we're
no.
talking about a few
Mm.
things.
Yeah, we do, but
But
I'm
definitely not
saying,
as much as definitely not as much as like other
yeah.
professions, but it's
Mm.
definitely there.
On one of the points you just raised there too, one of the biggest things I learned getting coached by Joe in a prep was the importance of keeping your nerve when you're coaching a client as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Massive.
Yeah, but like I feel like that's where I've made mistakes, but where so many coaches make mistakes because it's just so easy to see a stale week and be like, all right, drop. All right, drop. All right, shit, let's not wait till the next check-in. Where he was very much just like, yep, keep going. Do you know what I
Mm.
mean? Like at the start, it was very much just like, is this guy going to do something? Do you know what
Mm.
I mean? And
And
then he'd be like,
it's
oh, you're looking great for how far out you are. And I'm like, really? Like, especially at like 13 weeks out, I'm like, I'm still fat. And he'd be like, no, I'd
especially
rather
if clients come to you with like then maybe something's gone wrong and they're in a bit of an emotional state and they're very stressed and you can sense it and you got like you see on their messages there's like 8 messages and you're like okay something might have not gone right here and
Mm,
they're very like wound up and in their sort of like emotional state. That's when you need to be even more calm.
mm.
It's like it's not a problem, it's all good, like this is just all we need to adjust, because if you freak out whilst they're freaking out, then that's just going to create
yeah, it's a
unnecessary
recipe for
chaos and
disaster.
it's not going to get to the root cause.
Yeah.
The guys
Yeah.
that freak out as well, generally are the ones that progress the most, like they have the most difficult time progressing.
Yeah, because I find that the theme is like everything's a problem.
Hmm.
It's an issue with like social media. I've like even like this morning, I see my dad on YouTube. He's like, oh, thumbs up. He's like, oh, the
Alert.
shoulder side raises. Like the guy on the YouTube video was saying they're like the best movement you should do for your shoulders. I'm like, Dad, like just keep in mind they're marketing and they just want to like catch you.
Yeah.
And then if you go on Instagram and you just like got into training and all of a sudden you got all these, influencers and all these different coaches and all these different opinions trying to like grab your attention, it can feel like, oh, if I don't do this thing, then there's going to be an issue.
Yeah.
Like I do get a lot with clients too, where clients and even people on Instagram, they'll just send me a photo of like a supplement and be like, what's your thoughts?
Yeah.
It's like, you can justify every single supplement in existence for one
Mm.
reason or another. So it's like, the overwhelm. And that's why I think it's good, like what Jordan Peters like speaks about, like it's a simple shit,
Hmm.
done hard, done consistently, and then you'll progress.
And I feel like one of the things I've harped on lately as well is just how much it's a game of longevity. It's not a game of like it's not how much progress we're going to make in the next 6 weeks. It's how much progress we're going to make in the next 6 months, the next 6 years. Especially when I deal with young guys. Like, and then when you're advising against certain concepts, it's like because that is going to impede longevity. Um,
Like at the root cause of that too, it's like, what's the rush?
yeah, but yeah, and it's weird because it's funny because if you had told me that when I was 21, I would have jumped down your throat. And now I'm 30.
Time is money.
I wish I just played the long game.
Yeah.
You know what I
I know
mean?
for me, like when I was in that stage where I wanted to rush things, is because I was like super insecure.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was running away from the discomfort because I wasn't happy with how I looked.
I do feel like as well, you reach a whole, obviously I'm older than all of you except you, Rick. We're roughly the same age. I guess James roughly my age too.
Hey, don't throw
Whoa,
me into
whoa,
your
whoa.
category.
Whoa,
Yeah.
whoa, whoa.
He says
Whoa,
turned
whoa.
into I'm older than everyone except Anth and Jude just then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm like, but I'm significantly older than you two, so it's a little bit further down the line for you guys. Even though I think you are on this level.
I can't believe you just put me in the 30 years old bracket.
No, no, but I
Fuck.
feel once you detach yourself from like your body and your image being like a
When
sense
you
of
make
your
the most
self-worth,
progress. Yeah.
it's so much easier to progress in
Oh,
bodybuilding.
yeah.
Like I
So
do
freeing.
not care about any of that stuff. Like if I have to get fat, and that was in my best interest for bodybuilding, I wouldn't care at all. Besides the fact I feel uncomfortable, like
Yeah.
actually physically feel uncomfortable. But I feel like that's a whole level of freedom. Like because I feel like I just don't really have any insecurities that I wish everyone could feel, and you don't get that until you're older.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like at 25, I did not have that.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
used to love the off season when I was fat.
Yeah. No, I just don't. I don't want to be 100 plus kilos again. It's uncomfortable.
Get me back to 96
Yeah, I like where I'm
when I
at.
was at my best.
88 at the moment. It's like nice. Yeah.
It's very important not to tie your whole entire identity in how you look.
Mm.
Yeah.
It's a cool element, but the more stock you put in it, I find the more turbulent your emotional state is going to be in the pursuit of your goals because
Mhm.
how often do we actually look at ourselves and be like, oh, that's sick?
Mm.
Okay? And if we tie like our whole worth based on how often we say that, how enjoyable is the journey going to be?
Yeah, no, no. And you do get clients like that, and they're very, very hard to coach.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like a lot of nurturing,
yeah.
a
Or it's
lot of
just trying to keep them
nurturing.
lean all the time, which some people just can't do that.
There's got to be a line somewhere though. Like it can't be have like no regard for how you look.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
that's just self-respect.
Yeah, I reckon
That's
that's
not
yeah.
perception of like the external perception of your image. Like
Yeah.
I groom myself like as best I can. Like sometimes I get lazy with it. Like let's just say shave my head, shave my body, like keeping in reasonable shape all year. I do that. I like try to dress well if I go out. I do that out of like just presentation, but it's not because if I go out with you guys, oh, I want to look good for the boys or they're gonna think I'm a grub. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like you think that when you're a lot younger. Like I feel like in that like 18 to 21 bracket, you sort of like that a little bit.
mm,
Because like you go out, you go fucking to the bar with everybody or whatever, so you want to look nice because of you want to be like, oh fuck, I got to dress nice, so everyone thinks like,
Um,
I dress nice. Because like I reckon I was like that when I was that age,
mm.
but now it's like, fuck, bro, I leave the house looking like a fucking drop kick half
Yeah,
the
I
time.
heard it in gasp t-shirts.
You got to see me at
Yeah.
the
gasp is sick.
yeah.
The other night I went to a nice restaurant and Michael goes, dude, strictly no gasp
Yeah, I did
t-shirt.
say that.
First time I've seen Jude in a shirt.
Yeah, he was actually wearing a shirt. Yeah, we wore the same shirt.
Yeah, we're just the same. That was
Love
Yeah,
funny.
it's
that.
pretty much the same. You
Embarrassing.
saw me at the cafes in the morning, like right now, I'm wearing baggy trackies, Crocs, a tucked in singlet, and a hoodie that I've had on for about 14 days straight.
That's the same as me with this
Yeah,
hoodie.
yeah, just because it's a jacket, I just don't take. It's just the first
How
thing to grab.
how often do you guys wash your hoodies?
Hoodies, well, it depends.
Yeah,
It depends how quickly
Bro,
it
this
comes
is
off.
such a good question. Me and Reese had like a full-blown debate about this the other day.
Yeah,
Did you get the
Like,
whiteboard out, Anthony?
bro, she was like, what? She was like, she washed everything after one use. Leggings,
Nah, nah, nah,
that's
hoodies,
like
nah.
Izzy as
t-shirts.
well. Yeah,
Nah, see, like my hoodie, what I do is generally I try to, like, say I train with a hoodie on, I generally try to take my hoodie off before I start sweating.
Yeah,
The
me
only time I wash my hoodies is when, and it happens quite often,
You
I
spill.
spill food on it.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's
that's cool.
well, what about like we'll agree that like training t-shirts, you're probably gonna get one use out of them, yeah?
Yeah,
But like
yeah.
Yeah,
trackies, like a thick pair of trackies you're gonna wear in the winter time or a hoodie, like
But if I'm training in the trackies, generally I'll train in them maybe once or twice and then I'll wash them.
Nah, the truckies is very heavily dependent on
Oh, let's take training out of the question though. Just normal use
Oh,
wearing.
fuck,
We
bro.
can't, bro. When have you had it? When you had more than when have you had more than one day in a row you didn't train? It affects what you wear and how much you watch it.
No,
Yeah.
I probably wash my shorts and pants after every wear, or maybe every second wear. Worst case would
I
be
reckon every second for me.
but shorts. No,
Yeah.
shorts for me is everywhere,
What about
unless like
jeans?
my big raggy ones because they're just comfortable.
How often do you wash your jeans?
Never.
Never.
What about your bathroom towel?
I probably use it 4 times.
I probably use it. Yeah, maybe. I probably use it
Times.
for a week, maybe.
Yeah.
No, you don't.
I
Yeah.
just don't even use a towel, I just drip dry.
Of course you
Probably get
do.
like, yeah,
So
6, 7
good with
uses
the
out of it.
bathroom clothes.
As soon as it starts to feel a little bit damp, that's when I wash it.
Are you like once or twice a day shower?
No, I'm a once a day shower.
Okay, yeah.
Or in the before bed, yeah.
I'm natty, so I only have to shower once a day.
Occasionally shower in the morning.
We just stink.
Yeah. Now sometimes I shower in the mornings if I can't be bothered before bed, but that'd be like I'm exhausted. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'll occasionally jump in the shower in the mornings if I want to wake up a bit more. Yeah, but that's not very common. And it's not common now because it's cold, because when you jump out, it's like balls.
How often does Izzy? Because I remember her putting on a story
Oh,
like,
Happens to shower like 6 times a day.
yeah.
yeah, because she's like, I love that I can just have a shower in the middle of the day.
She showers at least twice a day.
And she
Yeah,
showers for like an hour.
Yeah, she
love
does.
that.
The water bill's not that. I just got the water bill. It was actually only $120.
Is that for like the quarter or
Yeah, but like that's still pretty good.
Yeah.
pretty good?
Power bill, on the other hand, that was fucked up. So
Oh,
yeah,
really?
yeah, I think it was 480. I don't know if that's high or not, but
All I can think about right now during this whole conversation is I want Ant to get on that fucking stretching machine that's behind him. While we're
Let's go.
recording.
That
uh,
is dope. The amount of I used to use that for wrestling, and I got pretty good. Like I never got splits
yeah.
open this way, but I got splits if you run like the side, like front to back splits,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
never
yeah.
like side to side splits.
Oh, maybe
Mm,
I should get one of them. I reckon it'd help me.
Bro, they're pretty good.
yeah.
Maybe I should get one.
You use it?
Me, yeah, I used to use it daily when I was doing wrestling. Now I'll do it maybe like 2 times a week since I started returning to the gym, just because like my adductors, bro, when you have like sore legs after
One,
leg days, like the adductors in there gets a little bit, definitely helps.
Oh, I got leg day today. What a bad buzz.
I'm meant to
Same,
train
bro.
today, but I think I'm taking today off and I'm gonna train tomorrow.
No, I'm
Why?
going to train today and tomorrow.
Yeah, bro, my knees are so sore.
Yeah.
Fuck,
I
do
got
we
leg day today and gearing up for it.
announce me coming away from natty status?
Hmm?
What? You're coming away from natty status?
Yeah, bro.
No, he's full
When?
of shit.
I'm starting
What?
BBC. I'm starting BBC and TV.
Ah,
No, don't say
That's cool.
no, don't say that publicly because they're 6-month bans.
For
I
what?
kind of,
The feds.
I wish I kind of like
I don't
touch
care. I'm
wood.
not, bro. I will publicly go out on this podcast and say I will never, ever, 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 ever compete in the natural federation ever
Okay,
again
well there you go.
why?
because I'm waste of time.
Yeah, they are a
I
waste.
prioritize.
Even
I
the
prioritize my
IFBB
health.
natties,
Do I what?
even the IFBB natties. Yeah.
Natty
It might be good though. We
does
don't know.
not excite me anymore.
I don't think it
Like
excites anyone.
it just like I'd rather just not compete. I'd rather enjoy life than compete naturally. Like
Mm.
and
Yeah,
just hobby
see, I
build
would
like you
probably.
know.
I don't think I'd have any interest in like competing if I was natural.
It's just
Yeah,
and you know
I'd
what? It's too
rather just
shit for
have
my
a,
health.
I'd
Like I'm
rather have a
not
good
sitting there
lifestyle.
What are
tanking
you
all my
using the
hormones
peptides for,
constantly.
James?
What am I what?
What are you using the peptides for?
I'm gonna start them for my knees because my knees are really bad. Like really, really bad.
Do it.
How's your digestion usually?
Digestion fine.
No.
What's
They
wrong
even
with
Be
pay a meal when
curious
you
to
go do
see
the
like
shit.
if you notice like an improvement in digestion with the BPC going in.
Yeah, I thought about that as well, actually. Like, I did think, but like the only ever digestion issues I get is if I eat like an off-plan meal and I just get like a little bit of reflux,
Yeah,
and like that'll be it.
standard.
I never get like bloated. I never get anything,
what's
surprisingly.
what's wrong with your knees?
It's really, really bad tendonitis.
What in your patella?
Yeah, like
Interesting.
it, man. Like I'm talking like I can't even like walk upstairs. I can't bend over. I can't squat down. Like
Anything above the kneecap or just under?
it's the whole kneecap. Like I'm talking under, over, everything.
Was this
I don't
just
even know
after
what it's
that
from.
scan I did?
Is it what?
Did this get worse just after that leg day we recorded?
Nah, it was bad before that leg day, but then it's gotten
Couple.
worse since it.
Well, yeah, since that day I haven't been able to train legs. Like just mine's just under my knee, Anthony. They have
Yeah,
that little
but
bump
nah,
there.
mine's my whole knee. It's fucked.
That's like excruciating.
It's probably not patellar tendonitis if it's your whole knee.
Oh, but like it used to be. I used to have it really bad, and then I just sort of grew out of it. It was weird, but then it's just like it comes and goes. I
Yeah,
had a theory back in the day that it was when I was heavy it got really bad, but like
Yeah.
I'm
makes
not even that
sense.
heavy.
So much issues can be resolved just by losing weight.
Well, it's true because like when
It's
I'm in prep and I'm light, it never really plays up. But also, I think when I'm in prep and it's light, I never train legs as hard as I do when I'm in an off season.
What's your like lower frequency and how often are you doing like squatting patterns?
I do legs twice a week, so Monday, Friday,
Mhm.
and I do
Pretty close.
two sets of pendulum, two sets of Smith. Like these are separate days. So my squatting pattern on one day is two sets of pendulum, two sets of leg press, and then on my other day it's two sets of Smith, two sets of single leg press. But it doesn't hurt during leg press.
Mm.
It's just squatting and
My
leg
leg press on
extensions.
my knees depends on the leg press.
Yeah.
On the back end of prep, I had a lot of trouble doing I had a lot of trouble with all legs towards the back end of prep.
Mm.
Yeah, but now it's
Stability.
clockwork. Sorry.
Was it just like stability?
I just get really tight hips and really sore joints and stuff.
Mm.
But upper body was no issues. But yeah, like I've already noticed the legs have blown up like after 3 sessions.
That's
But like
sick.
I also didn't train them. I think I trained them once in the last 6 weeks of prep because we didn't do them for the first peak week. We didn't do them for the second peak week. The session after peak week, we didn't do them just because of fatigue. So I would have done them like once. And even
Mm.
then, I think one of the sessions was in Queensland, so I was just like half-assed the shit out of it.
Mm.
Mm.
Yeah. So they actually criticized my legs in my feedback too.
Oh, really?
Interesting.
Yeah, which they just said you had short shorts on, so you need to make sure that your
You
legs
need more leg. Yeah.
yeah, they're like if you otherwise because you'll and then they said in it because you'll notice everyone else had like
Longer shorts
yeah, you know what I mean?
because they cover more leg.
It's good to see that the shorts did eventually arrive.
Yeah. Oh no, they didn't.
Oh, they didn't arrive.
No,
Yeah,
you
I
gotta do
ended
it
up buying
now.
other ones.
They just never come at all.
No, they never came. I ended up doing Elite Wear, and Elite Wear came in 2 days, and the Legacy ones never arrived.
So
Get a
what are
refund.
you gonna do you
Shout
get a
out
refund?
Legacy.
Yeah, Legacy, and they didn't give me any. I'm just going to straight up say they didn't give me any support, nothing. They just said it's a carrier issue, and I said, well, it's a UK
Nice.
carrier, and I can't get in touch with them.
It's still your business.
And then I replied, emailed again, and then I emailed again, and then they just didn't get back to me. I said, fuck it, these are gone. So, but I'm glad because the Elite ones were good, and I liked that they were shorter.
Yeah.
I felt like they looked good, but I definitely noticed that I lost size of my legs between the shows.
Mm. But
Yeah,
that's come right back now.
I reckon my legs look fucked. I can't even fit in my shorts again. Yeah, I probably just wear all the. It's probably a bit of fat's gone on the legs too, because the legs
Would
was
you say they're like more developed than they were before you began prep?
nah. But I'm training them better now because I actually care.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you go into prep feeling like shit and you come out of prep feeling like shit because 105 kilos is fucking brutal, man.
Mm.
Might have been 120.
And even that like 105 to 97, which was when I was on like modified tests, because you got such an adrenaline dump from the like high PED load coming out, like you don't feel that great through that window either.
Mm.
Yeah, because I remember, yeah, like by like the fourth or fifth, the only time I probably felt good was when I was with you in Bali, like that week or two. That was when I
That
was,
was just me though.
yeah, I think so. Yeah, you and Carl lifted me up. No, that was probably the only time where I was like comfortable in the weight and comfortable in how I felt, like in terms of like training was actually okay, like I
Mm.
felt normal, etc. And then you get into the actual deficit, and then obviously it just goes, yeah. So that was
Yeah.
fun. But yeah, no, I never received my shorts.
Dogs.
Mm. But
Wow.
I had patellar tendonitis for years as well.
Maybe it's genetic.
Yeah, that hasn't come back because I don't do enough squat patterns.
Mm.
Yeah, because now I just do hacks, but I do the Arsenal strength, so you're kind of sitting like that.
Yeah. I also think it's just like as I get stronger as well, it just gets worse because obviously I'm just
Yeah.
exposed to more load.
Well, I question the longevity of a hack squat. I don't reckon that'll be able to stay in there for the entirety of a growth phase. I think it'll eventually
It's
put you.
doing like the Watson one.
Definitely not the Watson one.
Oh, is it Watson? I thought it was Arsenal strength.
No, it's Arsenal. It's Watson at
So it is.
Yeah.
No, but I think if
Just
you've
put
got
it all the way down, and it's
That's almost
so
a leg
good for
press.
Instagram because you can put like 300 kilos on that bad boy,
Pretty much a leg press.
and it
yeah,
looks sick.
I like that with it going with all the way down. I just find you can grind out reps a little bit better.
Man,
Oh,
I
yeah.
jumped on that. I
Yeah.
jumped on that Watson pendulum the other day when me and Jude trained, and fuck, it's shit.
It just
Like once
hurts.
once you've been exposed to the Atlantis one, you just get on
Yeah.
that Watson one, and you're like, "What the fuck is this?"
Yeah, the Watson
Like,
one. The Watson one is
man,
yeah, that was a
my
powerhouse.
hips, my knees, my lower back, like everything was fucked on that Watson pendulum.
Mm.
It's
Yeah, when I was
crazy.
training at Body Factory in Bali, like everything just hurt all the time
Ugh.
That's
because
undefeated.
Oh,
Watson.
Watson, it is. And like one prime piece.
Are you taking a break from leg training, James, when you're doing the peptides, or are you still gonna keep it in?
Fuck, I haven't started it yet, so I'm waiting for them all to come, and then once I start, Matt wanted me doing it for 10 to 12 weeks. He wants me to
Yeah.
run it, but he hasn't. We haven't worked anything out because obviously I'm just waiting for it to come, and then he'll tell me what to do and all that kind of stuff.
Has he told you whether he wants you to do like side injections or more
He
so
wants
like
me to do. He
systemically?
wants me to do two a day, two injections a day.
Yeah, morning and night, that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm
Both of
assuming,
them or just
or
the
it might even be. It might even. I don't even know if it's going to be pre-workout because I know people have used it pre-workout and it sort of is helps it a little bit more.
Mhm. I was just before that.
Did you end up buying the blend?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I
So
found if you compare like BPC by itself versus BPC and TB 500 versus both in growth hormone, you pair them with growth hormone, and that's where it was like,
you know what? This was the
yeah,
thing that I was
yeah.
thinking, right? And this is where it becomes a slippery slope because I was genuinely sitting there thinking about just being like, if I'm going to do BPC and TB as well, should I just do growth?
Yeah, you probably should. It's a different pathway. Like the growth is gonna
Because
allow
I
for
reckon it'll help.
hyperplasia.
And the
Uh,
growth is very
in that
benign.
case, bro, we just do a bit of testing,
And
throw in
then
a
the
bit
test comes in, and then the fucking Mastron, and
Well, growth,
just
I
see it
did,
all from there.
I consider growth a very benign pathway, so like it's
Yeah.
not really.
Well, yeah. I remember when I spoke to Matt about fertility and me doing
Mm,
gear, and I'm just like, I'm not going to do it until like I have kids or whatever,
mm.
or at least conceive. And he said, "What about growth hormone?" I
Now,
was
If
like,
anything, growth hormone has been shown to a degree to be somewhat beneficial from a fertility
well, the
perspective.
one thing as well that I thought about growth hormone is just like longevity too for like anti-aging.
Yeah.
But
but it's only anti-aging if you run it at like at replacement dosages.
which is what?
If like 2 units, if you escalate it, it's actually age accelerating.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but it's a benign pathway because I
How the
wrote
fuck does that happen? How can more make it anti-aging?
it promotes telomere shortening. I'm pretty sure.
Oh
If
yeah,
only it was that, that would be so good.
I
mate.
raised
That Brian
10
Johnson
IU,
would be doing
15
like
IUs,
intravenous growth hormone all day.
15 IUs, and I'm youthful.
No, I raised with a client yesterday. Well, it wasn't yesterday, it was the other day because he said he didn't want to do growth and exogenous insulin. He's a bodybuilder. He said, I'd rather just push oils up more just because of the health risks. And I said,
Wow, that's such a
so much more health
Yeah.
risk
significant
in pushing
statement.
up
It's
the oils more.
completely backwards.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I'm like, the oils are way more higher health risk, but you can't convince guys that have got that mentality.
This is what it sounds like.
You
It's
definitely
that,
can, Michael. You gotta just that's just ignorance.
That
And
sounds like he's trying
Yeah.
to save money.
and
But
it's
I want to say it's ignorance, but these guys don't know any better because they think growth's like that next step. Whereas I had another guy yesterday ask me, do you think it will be a game changer if we bring it in? And I said, there's no compound that's a game changer.
nah,
It's a long game and everything will add up. And yeah, you might have one thing that you bring in at some point that you do respond to. Like you might be a guy who puts in growth and like for example, like you might be a guy that puts in growth and you do get a hyper response, but you're not getting a hyper response because of the growth. You're probably getting a hyper response, for example, one of the examples I draw is because like you might be someone who can tolerate really high circulating estradiol without side effects, and then you might get a really good synergy there. It's not
mm,
necessarily the growth is coming in. But that's like
Mm.
anything. Like I've got clients that respond well to certain compounds, but it's not because the compound's a game changer. It's just because I don't know. Do you know what I
yeah.
mean?
And
Yeah.
then the sooner you get out of that mindset of like the next thing that's going to change it all, the better. Like
Yeah.
view it more as just like adding in these additionals is just going to be supplementary to what I'm already doing. Because
Mm.
those individuals that like look for that and just lean on that, they're also often the individuals that will like only train when they're super physiological, and then when they go down to a TRT, they'll just like fluff around and fuck around.
Yeah.
where,
No,
and then they
Yeah, it's
just
like
like
I'm not growing. It's like I
lose
can't
that
grow. I'm on TRT. Like,
no
like
one
you,
that relies no one
just
that
bullshit.
no one that relies on PEDs for progress actually does well.
yeah,
Like if you go through your books, I'm sure you'll notice that as well. The guy that's excited to run this or run that. The guys that just do, like I got one kid who's just like a first timer and he's competing. I won't say when because you wouldn't work out who it is, but he'd competed before naturally and he ticks every single box. Like nutrition training, like diligently trains exceptionally, never missed a data point, never missed a check-in, not a huge communicator. And then I brought in the PEDs, just a typical stack design, like it's a test mass
Mm.
primo split. Um, and he's up like 17 kilos,
Mhm.
hardly fatter. He's fatter, obviously, and progressed really, really well. And one of the other boys said to his friends to him, said, "Oh, he's such a hyper responder." And I said, "No, it's because training and nutrition comes first for him. Like he lives like he does it, he executes like a robot, and then this is just doing its thing at the bottom. He's never asked me for a dosage increase. He's never asked me, can we add something else or anything like that.
I'm trying to work out
Like
who
he's
he is.
asking questions about nutrition. He's asking questions about
I know.
Yeah.
he's asking questions
Like
about blood work. Yeah.
taking the
I think I
lessons
know who it is.
from like
Yeah.
instead of looking at IFBB pro bodybuilders for advice, look
Mm.
more to natural pro bodybuilders.
Yeah.
Because I was speaking about this with Brendan Kempter on the podcast. He's like, well, natural bodybuilders are the architects of training and nutrition, and that's all they can leverage. So
Yeah,
you know they're going to leave no stone unturned there. But if you look at someone that's like a pros, potentially like IFBB pros, are born to be there, and also a hyper responder and hyper tolerator,
Mm.
you know, whatever they do could work.
It's actually funny because most hyper responders aren't hyper tolerators.
Mm,
Yeah. Oh, sort of a mixed bag, I guess. But yeah, there's those natural fundamentals which are the most important. Uh,
always.
and yeah, even now, like I've got that hyper appetite at the moment, but I find just the diligence that gives me around just getting into nutrition because nutrition is the hardest thing. Because I wouldn't want to lose that. I'd rather just be hyper focused on food because I know that's going to keep my nutrition adherence at 100%. And I know
Mm,
that's what's going to drive my off season. It's not gear.
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And just consistency of training, which training to me is pretty clockwork, man. I'm not that
Yeah.
guy just to train. I just know I have to train and I know I have to beat my numbers.
I just go in and I just do it.
Yeah. I think because I
Look
wake
at my
up too
logbook. I see
early.
a weight. I get on there. It's like, all right, let's try to get an extra rep. Or okay, I've done this for 2 weeks in a row. Let's try and push the weight up.
Mm.
I
Yeah,
never
like
think when I train.
you don't have to get revved up and emotional before you train.
Nah, there's
It's
nothing
kind of
worse
just
than
like
when like got a
indifference,
fire
like
up.
regardless of how you feel, like going into the gym, it's just like, well, I'm going to do the do regardless. And I found that early days, like we were sort of talking about before, trying to rush things. I'd have
Yeah,
like Ronnie Coleman videos up before I go in and do fucking arms,
yeah.
like like triple scoop and jack 3D. Um, but nah, like you can go in, and how many times do you boys like go into a session? You're like, I'm not really feeling it today.
Fuck this. I
Me
But
did
too.
then
that
it's like
yesterday.
your best session.
I did that yesterday, and like I still progressed on like I reckon 80% of my session.
Yeah.
Yesterday was like the first session I've had in ages where I was just like completely lost in the session. I'm like, I could be here for 2 hours.
It's
Mm,
so good.
Didn't
I
have to
love
go
when
to
it
dinner,
happens.
James. I would have taken my time.
yeah,
And
Yeah.
like when you're in the gym and you don't even change music, because you're
Mm.
yeah,
just so locked in.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's one of the things as well where I find that I don't think in at least the last like maybe 3 years I've ever walked into a session because like when you get those people that are like they walk into a session it's like a little bit tired today or feeling a little bit sore. It's like maybe I'll pull back on the weight today.
No,
Like I
never.
don't think I've ever walked into a session and been like, oh, I was doing a
Mm.
fucking 280 kilo leg press last week. Oh, maybe I'll pull back. I'm feeling a little bit rough today. Like even with fucked knees, I never walk into the session thinking, nah, I'm gonna pull back on load.
James,
Like,
last week, the first time I ever went on that pendulum and said, I actually can't do it today because my knee is like
Yeah.
sore with
But
one
that's
plate.
different. That's different though. You're
That
like
was
pulling
the
out a
first time
set,
ever.
right? I'm
Yeah.
talking, I've never
Yeah.
looked at my logbook and been like, fuck, like I need to reduce load.
Yeah.
Like ever. I've always just been like, I'm either progressing or it's like, I've just got to hold these numbers.
Do
it's
you guys
always good to remember, like, why are you in the gym?
Yeah. And it's to progress. It's to
I don't
be
know
better.
about you guys, but I actually noticed the ones where I'm in the car driving there and I'm like, fuck, I'm pretty tired today. I can't really be fucked. They're the ones where I like progress the most. It's like just something
Yeah.
happens. I get there and it's somehow I just everything goes
And you get
everything
like
goes,
halfway through the session, you're like, how's this happened?
yeah, it's like, what the fuck is
It's like
going
a,
on?
you have like
It's
this
almost
fucking
like that
internal.
almost stress response, fear response,
Yeah.
and then that allows you to perform. And that's why it's so important to like not trust how you feel,
Hmm.
you know.
That's a
And
good one, actually. It's a good point.
and
Do you
it's
guys ever
such a
get
fine line with the, oh, I'll take it easy today. Like, all right, where do you draw the line? Then
Yeah.
anytime you're like, oh, I slept 8 hours and 45 minutes instead of my usual 9 hours, I'm gonna hold back today. Like
That's just
it's not even
that's an
like
excuse I
that.
need.
It's not even like that itself is the issue,
Yeah.
but it's like the mindset there that can trickle into so many other areas of life. And then that accumulation, you end up being like, well, fuck, I haven't really achieved what I wanted to achieve. Yeah.
do
What were we gonna say before, right?
you guys ever get scared when you before you train?
Define scared.
Okay. I'll tell you know what, when I train legs,
A heightened response to your sympathetic nervous system outside of your control.
I don't. Oh, thanks.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Um, yeah, maybe when I train legs.
I
I
get
wouldn't say I ever get into like a push or a pull session thinking, oh, maybe I'm pull because I deadlift. But like I never used to. The only reason I get like that now is because my hamstring.
yeah,
On
I get
the
worried that I'm gonna
Smith squat from
fucking do something.
sorry, incline Smith for me because the Doldy's one's so like weird. It's like
Incline Smith, get me on the incline Smith. I'm going to death. I'm
yeah, no,
going
I
to
go
be
to
dead.
death, but like I'm just like
I'm
always
getting
like
decapitated.
fuck, this is gonna be a hard set.
Like
Yeah,
I'm getting. I wouldn't even care on a fucking incline Smith if I'm gonna die.
yeah.
Anything
mine's,
push, anything push. I
oh,
will go until I'm dead.
yeah, no. You can't be scared before a push session.
Nah. And I just feel like I'm so strong in push that like nothing scares me in a push session. But legs,
Mine's more
yeah.
specific movements.
Yeah, same.
When my RDLs were creeping up there, and like
Mm,
when I was doing the Arsenal hack squat on at Elite Fit, and that was getting up there, it was like my whole focus would just be purely on
yeah.
that exercise. But yeah, man, for sure, I'll get anxious before a session, and I'll
I
just
reckon
feel like,
only like for me now it's probably only hamstring movements just because of my hamstring and then like that'd be it. But like even that I say that too and it's like I'm leg curling more now than I was before tearing my hamstring. So it's
Mm.
like it's still just in the back of my mind.
I forgot
Yeah.
the hamstring. Yeah.
I reckon it's fine. I reckon it's like fully repaired. I'm just like scared to do it again.
and then you almost create that pain.
Mm.
And I was like, I'm
Pretty
still
cool with
like
that
that with my
actually.
lat. I was just saying, I was just thinking before, my lat's sore as fuck from training yesterday because I tore it last year.
Mm.
Yeah, but it's just tight. And when it was doubles happened last time, it was tight, and then the next day pulled.
Yeah.
Yeah, pecs, I was like that for ages. When I did the
Yeah,
10.
I was like that with pecs when I used to work with a coach, and I was doing like it was during lockdown, floor press,
Yeah,
and just
Oh, floor
Go.
press.
I used to do floor press as well.
so fun.
You
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
it
still
is
do
it is a fabulous movement.
you reckon?
Uh,
Yeah, bro. You just got to be strong.
yeah,
Fucking oath. There's
Uh,
you got like no stretch whatsoever.
yeah,
And I
no.
used to love those like dead stop movements, like
Yeah, bro.
stop
That's some
dumbbell
shoulder
rows,
press,
like
that's stop rows.
yeah,
Fuck.
the pin press on the shoulder press.
Oh, great.
yeah, no, I don't like that shit at
I
all.
love a dead stop, like a pendlay row, like straight from the floor.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah,
You know, that's like the most masculine fucking movement there
Yeah.
is.
That rows
And
are
it's like I can move weight.
yeah,
I'm too
no,
fragile now. My nervous system can't handle that sort of training.
yeah, I don't think so either. I have to wait. I train for minutes.
Not even that. It's more like my brain function. Because if I was going to do check-ins after when I used to train like that,
Yeah.
I'd be just dribbling in the check-in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you train in the mornings or do you train in the afternoons at the moment?
I aim to like get the vast majority of my work done before I train because I
Yeah.
don't love being in the gym and like feeling like, oh, I've got to go back and
And
I don't.
work.
I want to give my best in the check-ins and yeah, it's a big session. But with the time zone here, it's pushing a bit later just because
Mm.
don't have the benefit of like waking up and everything's there ready to go.
Mm.
Ideal scenario, like if I didn't have any work commitments or anything like that, I would probably train around like 11 o'clock every day.
Yeah, that would be
I
the
sort of wake up, get my steps in, hydrate, sort of chill for a bit, get my first meal, train.
yeah. I see. I have my first meal like 5:30 in the morning.
Yeah, I normally
Yeah, I
do
can do
like
that.
7:30.
Do
That would fuck me up.
five
That would
nine.
fuck me up so bad.
I've
Yeah.
been recently training after two meals instead of one meal, and I've noticed a like a pretty big difference in how I feel moving into the session, and then my performance, and then how quickly I fatigue, and then like on my numbers that I'm tracking, like implementing that second meal, and then like a small like instead of having a pre-workout meal, I'll have a pre-workout snack. So it might
Okay.
be like an English muffin with like some strawberry jam, and it's only like a couple of hundred calories. And I found that
I
applies.
remember seeing that in your MyFitnessPal, Anthony.
Hey,
I don't remember seeing that in your MyFitnessPal.
have a check, mister. No, that's all there.
I'm joking. Joking.
I do
I
English.
do I get a lot of people to do coconut water with whey pre-workout.
If they're training early, yeah.
Mm.
I don't even put the whey in there. I'll just do coconut water.
I just get them to train fast if they train in the mornings.
No,
Occasionally,
but not even if they're training earlier, like is there like
like,
pre-workout meal?
yeah,
And
'cause
also, like,
yeah,
the thought process is always remembering that it's not just the meal you have in the closest proximity to the training. Like, especially if you have like a larger bolus of carbohydrates pre-bed, like
Yeah.
you're not depleting that much glycogen overnight.
Yeah, often that I have people that train like fasted in the morning, I'll do like a bowl of oats before bed and then I get them to just do intra
Yeah.
when they train.
yeah.
It's
I
just
generally advise if someone in a deficit, I try to advise them away from training fasted slash in the morning.
mm,
From a
Depends on the
performance
person.
standpoint. The only like benefit would be like if from an adherence standpoint, like if they are like me and if they eat their first meal at 5:30 in the morning, then they'll just be thinking about food all day.
Mm.
me.
The only sort of caveat I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, that's so yeah, because I do find as well the guys that eat first thing in the morning struggle more with appetite.
Yeah, because I
Makes sense
find
that
for
I follow
me,
that.
like once I open the floodgate, well, once I eat, then
Mhm.
it's like, all right, every 3 hours, my body's going to be like, let's go, get another meal in.
Right
But if
now,
I can just push back that first
yeah.
meal forever.
I think I'm hungry because I haven't taken modafinil today.
Did you not take it today?
No, it's in the car.
Are you
I
saying
don't
that
even want to
makes you
hear
hungry?
about modafinil at the moment
You say it?
Why?
because when I like, because my sleep's been so screwed the past couple of days, like adjusting to the time zone,
Oh
like a
no.
curse of being so on top of my sleep routine. The other day, I was like, oh, I'll just put a modafinil in.
Mm.
Just did not need it. And then I was just like revved up too much and just like ended up getting to sleep at like 2 o'clock.
Oh,
How many milligrams do you do?
So the first time I ever took it, I was like, oh, 200 milligrams, close enough, put it in, and it was just like too much.
I do 25.
Yeah, I did 100 and I was like, probably next time if I ever use it, it would be 50.
you do 25 milligrams or a quarter a tablet?
A quarter of a tablet, but the ones that you gave me were 100s.
No, the one I gave you were 200.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't do 100s.
Oh, well, I've been using 50 this whole time.
Yeah, I
I'd
was
say
gonna
they
say
don't they don't
It's
come in
fine.
100s, do they?
they do, but not modafinil. It's mod alert or wake alert.
Oh, we had Mod Alert.
Okay, then they probably come a little bit smaller.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty confident they were 25s, but the ones that I've got now, which should come today, are 200s. So I'm just going to go up to 50.
I'll get
That's
the
interesting
200
that
tablets. I'll get the 200 tablets and I break it in quarters. And
Yeah.
then that 50 milligrams is a serving size. And I'll have that like once a week, once a fortnight.
Yeah. See, I'm on the train of doing it like 4 times a week at the moment.
and
Mhm.
you've noticed you're more hungry with modafinil in.
No, way
Yeah,
less.
Oh, that's it.
yeah,
Not
that's
way less, but less for sure.
yeah, for sure, man.
Yeah.
Stimulant and that jazz.
Do
When I was on peak calories, if I did it, I couldn't eat.
Makes
oh,
sense.
It just like it actually helps me.
I reckon nothing could suppress my appetite.
Well,
I'm with
I,
James.
I didn't
I'm
use
with you, brother.
Nothing. I reckon like nothing.
Dude,
Semaglutide, I reckon I could
Try
have
some
seven
Anadrol
of
first
eight.
thing in the morning.
Now, to be honest, James, I've been using Retratrotide at the moment.
Does it help?
That can do it. Oh, 100%. Like
Doesn't
I
that just
forget
like
to
we were
eat.
discussing this yesterday? Doesn't that just like reduce like bowel movements?
It slows gastric emptying.
But
Yeah.
what was it? You're using Retta?
Retratrotide.
Yeah, because I put it in on Saturday. I did
Yeah.
0.5 milligrams, but like I haven't noticed anything yet.
It builds up. That's the thing, because it
Mm,
builds up and then it hits you. So
yeah.
I used semaglutide as like an experiment because I was like, well,
Mm,
clients might ask about this. Like when it first came out in Thailand, and then
Yeah.
brought in Retratrotide recently, and then I can definitely say the Retratrotide feels like it works a lot better, and
mm,
I feel less nauseous. And of course, like it's a triple action versus like I think semaglutide's maybe one or two.
mm.
So yeah, and like for me, like I don't like I'm not pro against whatever. But for me, like it's been very liberating in regards to like not having crazy high food focus all the time because I feel like my baseline
Mm,
like just gets so much pleasure from food that it's almost a curse. Where
yeah.
like now it's like the desire is just like and I can just focus on everything else and like not be thinking about food, which I found's really nice. But the issue is what people tend to do is they'll get a good response. They think, oh, the classic human mindset, let's use more. Then they
Mm.
slow their gastric emptying so much that they run into digestive issues or like they can't eat and they're not staying hydrated because they've just got no desire to put anything down their mouth. So if you like dose it very gradually and just let it build up over time, you
Mhm.
know, get a good sweet spot with it.
Mm.
Well, the only thing I've noticed, because Joe said to put it in, just and I said no originally, and then I ate like a pig Saturday night, and after I'm like, nah, fuck it, I need to do this
Hmm.
because I already had it in the fridge. And I definitely have noticed a little bit of a kick, like a push, like pullback. It's a little bit easier to adhere, but I'll dose it again today and assess. But I don't want to lose that appetite. It's more because my problem's not so much day to day. My problem's more when I go out and eat. That's when it's like game
Yeah.
over. Because like Saturday night, no, Friday night was when we went out, James, and I ate like a pig, and then I got home and I just kept eating.
Well, the cool thing with it is it almost has an inbuilt, like you can't eat shit food in it.
Mm.
Because when you eat more like fatty, fried, like higher fat
Mhm.
content foods, it causes like that's when you get the issues with digestion
Reflux
because
and
it
stuff.
slows down gastric emptying. So then you literally just like even if I want this food,
Mhm.
like I don't want to eat it because it makes me feel so shit.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
And
We'll
at least with
I'll
the,
keep it updated throughout the week anyway. Go on.
I was gonna say, at least with the glucagon pathway that Reddit 2 tried for the 20 start, has it's a lot less, a lot more, I guess, sparing for muscle preservation as well.
Yeah. With the muscle loss stuff, because I've had a couple of people ask me about that. If you think about like the population they're researching, like
Yeah,
obese
Gen Pop.
diabetics, not training, and or even if they're not like being like studied, whatever, they'll put it in and they just won't eat,
Yeah, and they
let
definitely.
alone protein, let alone consistent progressive overload in the
Yeah,
gym.
it's unmonitored. It's unmonitored drug
Yeah.
use.
So it's
Yeah,
like anybody goes into a calorie deficit, doesn't train, doesn't prioritize protein, like they're going to lose muscle.
and usually it's that kind of cohort who do flock towards it.
Yeah, yeah. Because
Yeah,
it's in it seems like the shiny object there's going to be a quick fix, but you know, once you pull it out, if you haven't fixed your behaviors, then you're likely just going to slingshot right back up.
hmm Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I'm definitely interested to see how it goes, but again, I don't want to overdo it because I don't want to see that.
So you're using retractide,
Well, yeah, I'm like 3 days in.
how many milligram?
Point 0.5 I did on Saturday.
0.5. Yeah. Yeah. So zero point 0.5 over by about like week three, you'll notice like a subtle. I'm using 1 milligram a
Yeah,
week and
it might not be
like
one a week. It'll be point 0.5 Saturday. I'll do point 0.5 Saturday and today, but I wasn't sure whether to bring it in today because I do feel like I got a
I
handle
was
on.
gonna say, was it today or tomorrow?
Well, I just
Or is it Thursday?
maybe tomorrow, but I'll do it today.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
you
Yeah, no, just because I didn't want to. It was more just the off-plan feeding that was becoming a problem. But like, it's not like I have trouble with it from a binge perspective. I know what I'm doing.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like it's just like I think
Having a
if
good
I'll get
time.
away with this. I'll get away with this. The floodgates are open, then the next day I jump on the scales. I'm edemic as fuck, and I'm just like, you're ruining your reverse here, mate. Yeah. And then all week it'd be like catch ups, and then it would happen again.
And then you just like swoosh and then right
Yeah.
back up.
Because
It's
obviously I'm super food focused, but like it's definitely better. Because like even like this week we planned the dinner and like I planned things to try to keep it tame rather than picking like Mexican. Yeah, because I really wanted
yeah,
Mexican or pizza. And then I'm sitting there like, you know you're gonna eat till you're sick if you do that.
yeah. Like if you go sushi, then you just go like sashimi and you know nigiri and rice. Like
It's just that
eventually you'll get bored of that.
I know it's too expensive for me to pull up
Yeah,
to those places. Yeah,
like that. Just go Nobu, bro. That'll
yeah.
keep you tame.
Nah, Nobu, if you yeah, but you go to Nobu expecting to spend 200 a head, do you still get fed? Remember when we went, James?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
we were
pretty.
full. Yeah. Yeah, we spent 450 bucks.
It's, you know what? Anything that when you go to a restaurant that's like that, that's fine dining, and it's like they slowly bring everything out. By
Yeah,
the time you get to the end of the meal, you're full as because you actually digest.
Yeah, like we went to Maven on the weekend. That was filling.
Yeah, but that was like again, that was just because everything was so slow at coming out, and like you realize that you get to a point. Whereas I feel like if you order everything at once and you sit there, you just keep eating, and then it gets to a
Yeah.
point where you're like, holy fuck, like I've eaten
Mm.
too much here.
I didn't feel like Maven was like over the top. It was like nice,
Nah, it was good.
nice amount of food. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Michael, can you share? Can you let me share screen?
What are we getting
Julian,
up?
Julian just posted Jude the set where Mike was spotting me.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, yeah, watch this.
Ah, fuck. Here we go.
I don't know if you'll be able to hear it.
Can you hear it?
Do you not use sleeves on your knees?
I can tell you right.
Legit
Oh,
almost
nearly
died.
dropped it. Bro, I've never heard James scream so loud in my life. I swear to God, that was
But
Fuck.
I can't think
I
of
genuinely thought I was gonna die.
anyone squat right now.
It's a good set, but also that's
That's why
probably
my
why
knees are
you need
fucked.
BPC.
That's why my knees are fucked.
Yeah.
It's genuinely like that's what made that session was what made my knees worse.
I can see why.
Yeah, maybe classic isn't for everyone, eh? Yeah, just genetically on the knees. I don't reckon I could bring my legs up if I tried to that extent, like just with my how my knees would go.
I just couldn't because my quads don't even sweep.
Oh,
My
no,
quads
I've been
sweep.
quite lucky with that.
I don't get any VMO. My VMO sucks.
My legs were like my strongest body part for years. It's just because I get slack with them. Because like even now we do what like 6 sets a week,
Mm,
and that's a little bit of a notch up because after the show I asked him just if we could do a little bit more.
mm.
Because last off season, like we hardly did any. Even prep, like I was doing what 1 set of leg curls, 1 set of hyper extension, 2 sets of leg press, 1 set of leg extension. That was it.
It's pretty much my session.
Yeah. Mm. Bit of lateral raises in there. Yeah. I've been enjoying training on a Thursday at Doherty's too. So I do my leg day straight into push tomorrow. So usually the push day is a bit choppy, but Thursdays at Doherty's dead.
Everyone's rest day Thursday.
Dead,
Monday,
dead.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday rest.
Yeah, there's nothing like it. There's no one in there.
I was tempted to try one gym today. Just
Push,
do it.
pull, legs, rest.
The
Nah,
new
the
one.
Queensland one looks like the equipment's average.
You reckon?
Yeah, it's not like the one in Port Melbourne.
I saw the hack squad there. I don't know what brand it is. I couldn't tell.
No, just they had a lot of Matrix. They had a bit of Matrix shit from the looks of it.
Nah, it's like max pump, I think.
Oh, okay. Well, no, I'm also noticing on the cable station, so I assumed that the
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Max pump's okay. It's
yeah.
okay.
Hit and
Yeah,
miss.
no, I'm not dying to go to that gym. I've been doing Doherty's. We obviously have the undefeated memberships too, but it's just a little bit far, man.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
would just be like a weekend
But even then,
cruise.
I'm for Saturday and I sort of think I don't want to sit in traffic for 30 minutes.
Yeah, you don't want to
Doherty's is,
waste your
Doherty's is like 12.
Takes
Yeah.
me 12
I used
minutes
to
to
drive 45 minutes each way to train with Jude at Doherty's.
Yeah, I know you did. I don't know
the
how.
bromance. That's love.
Nah, bro, more than 10 minutes to a gym and it's like brutal. I remember Powerhouse when I lived in South Mill Park. It was 8 minutes. So I used to love that.
best. Even better, I just finished PTing and I'd start my training session.
Yeah, and I try to beat my time every time I went to get there.
That was the one benefit of PT.
Like,
I didn't have to like be at home and sit there and G myself up to go like be like, all right, I'll go at 12.
yeah,
Now I'll go at 1. I'll go at 2.
yeah. I'd sip on my pre-workout towards the end of the PT sessions.
Yeah.
My last
So
PT, I'd get the cup and mix it, and then half
yep.
into the session I'd start
Walk
sipping.
around sipping it. Yep.
So by the end of that
Best.
PT session, I'd be off my head and I'd be excited to train.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that was
Um,
the easy
I was
day.
gonna say, Rick, when you were in Japan, what gym did you train at?
Every gym I trained at, I would not recommend
Why?
because basically like look, like I trained at one of the Gold's gyms, I think in Ginza.
Yeah.
But there's so many rules, bro, that it just like takes so much joy out of it.
Yeah.
So basically, you had to bring indoor shoes. If you didn't have indoor shoes that had never been outside before,
What's it?
you have
Oh,
to rent
really?
shoes. There was one gym I trained at, I had to write down like how long I'm going to be on each machine.
What?
Uh, with tattoos, I had to cover my tattoos or say I have no tattoos whatsoever. So like a lot of the rules in the gyms are not fun. But if I was to go back, which I definitely will, because Japan's amazing and it's
Yeah.
definitely a must go to. I think it's Lift, LYF.
Yeah, okay, mad. Yeah,
Yeah, so
that's
they don't
because
have tattoo rules.
yeah.
That's the go-to. But that's in Tokyo.
Yeah, that's
Oh, I'm
because
not
I'm
sure.
I'm going in 2 weeks.
They
And that's
also
the
have a
only one that I've
solarium at the Gold's Gym, which I thought was super cool.
oh, so cool.
Mm.
Yeah.
Are you shuffling cards, James?
Yeah.
Are you learning magic tricks?
No, I'm shuffling
Is
my
that your
Pokemon
habit?
cards.
No way. Do you do that during check-ins?
Oh, nah, not during check-ins.
Have
Can't.
you got
Hands.
a
I need my
weird
hands
thing
during
you do during
check-ins.
check-ins, Ant?
Me?
Yeah.
I've got a like a little fidget spinner in the car that I usually have in when I'm stuck in traffic, or I've got like a grip. Um,
Stressful.
Mm.
it's for grip. It's like a
Oh, the forearm.
yeah attention driven one.
Nah, man, I'm so bad. Like when I'm just like sitting around fidgeting, like that's why I genuinely just have these here because I just sit there and flat stick.
Can you do any magic tricks?
Fuck no.
I used to have magic decks at
These
home.
are just my Pokemon cards.
Really?
And there's Vengali deck. You could make all the
Oh, Pokemon cards too. That's
Yeah.
euphoric.
yeah. I
I'm
was gonna
probably sitting on a couple mil in my bedroom right now, to be
Fuck, do you want to
honest.
see Pokemon cards? Jesus Christ.
I've got like a folder that's got like individual Pokemon cards in each slot. This is sick.
We go off blur.
yeah.
How
It's got
do I turn off my blur?
top three little
I've got it. I've got it. This is my binder that's the size of my.
That's so cool. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, yours looks
Pokemon
cool on
cards
there.
I've got way too many.
Oh, this is so nostalgic.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's got a
I
vibe.
do get into that stuff. I wish I could.
Got
I
any
got one of
rare?
those. I got one of those for Yu-Gi-Oh cards though.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
still got the
yeah.
Yu-Gi-Oh ones. Yeah, I was big on Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yu-Gi-Oh is the
So
shit when I
I
was growing
kind
up.
of wish I got
Can you
into
see this
Dragon Ball
behind me?
Z because so many gym people are into Dragon Ball Z, but I was more
Oh,
Pokemon
bro.
than Yu-Gi-Oh.
This is my it's like my sealed
Mm. Oh,
ones.
there you go. I haven't watched Dragon Ball Z probably in
Oh,
15.
that's literally this what's out the front of Undefeated Gym in Bali, and
Yeah, that's
got a
it.
life-size one.
How is
Is
that?
that like closed in plastic?
This is a whole booster box of Pokemon cards.
Why
That
is it,
unopened?
Unopened.
why?
If I come over, I'm gonna open them all.
No, you're not.
Why is it unopened?
Because it's like an investment, bro. It's like stocks.
James, I bought this, but I opened it. It was like the collector deck for Yu-Gi-Oh cards,
Oh,
bro. And it's like
be worth a
it's
fortune.
it's the yeah. I bought it like in lockdown for a couple $100. And it has like the OG cards, not the ones that like
Where's Blue Eyes White Dragon?
Oh, no shit.
How'd you
like
get
the
that?
actual OG
Yeah,
cards.
that's like what they like have on like the shows.
What are the odds that I say Blue Eyes White Dragon and you literally bring out Blue Eyes
But
White?
Karibo.
Dragon.
Karibo's the goat.
Through Karibo, Dark Magician, bro, they're sick as. And
Oh,
it came
no,
with and
that's
it came with these a little like, is this recorded?
Yeah,
I,
Very,
I
very on topic.
might have to blur it out, but it came with these ones as well.
yeah.
No, I was obsessed with Yu-Gi-Oh, but I got onto it late, so I never got into that real OG stuff.
You guys my jam.
Yeah, no, I mean, I got onto it late, as in like they would have been out for a good 6 to 12 months before I like clicked onto the trend when I was like 10 years old or whatever.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So like the real original cards, I don't know. I do have a Red Eyes Black Dragon at home, like the original one.
Bro, Red Eyes is sick.
Yeah, I think I do. I think it's a bit butchered because I used to play
When
with
I
it.
was younger, I remember those containers where it's like for storage. It's like
Yeah.
a big white box with wheels, four wheels, and like a lid on the top. You could like fold it. Do you remember them? They were like low to the ground. You know if you saw them. It's pretty big. Like it's probably like this big.
Yeah.
Top to bottom to top of Pokemon cards. Moved houses. I probably would have been. We moved houses when I was young. I can't remember exactly how old I was. Anyway, threw the whole box out because I thought, oh, I'm never going to use these Pokemon cards or touch them
Oh
again.
no.
I don't know what the
Oh,
fuck was in there.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, but I got no idea what was in there. Threw it out. That could have been fucking so much money banked in that box,
I remember
and
my
I
mum
just
wouldn't buy
screwed. I
me.
literally just took it.
Mum wouldn't buy me Charizard for like $50 when I was a kid.
oh,
Yeah, I remember it was $44. I remember this distinctly, and she's like, "No,
unforgivable.
yeah, no, that's a waste of money," which it seemed like it at the time, but like now, yeah,
Have you got one now?
no,
Treat yourself, brother.
yeah,
You
no. I
work hard.
don't know. If I was into that stuff, I would, but I'm not. I wish I could get into it. I just don't
What do you
think
mean, bro? Like doing check-ins, you got a big Charizard right next to you.
yeah,
You know, mum wouldn't get this for me, but I've worked hard and now I can afford a Charizard of my own.
put it
This
on
is
the
what I have next. This is what I've got next to me for my check-ins. My dad got it made for me. Why is it blurring him out?
I got one of them as well.
That's sick.
Uh,
That's sick.
Bobblehead.
I got
I
like
used to have so many of those of like Essendon players, like with Matthew Lloyd and James Hird.
Lloydie.
Lloydie.
Apparently James Heard's coming back next year.
yeah, I was
Hopefully,
watching that.
bring Matthew Knights as well. I want the peptides back in.
Well, if the makes us good, the peptides to come back in.
Well, it didn't
Apparently, there
even
was
end up being an issue, didn't it?
he did a interview this morning. James Heard. He said there was full of shit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he did the interview with Brad Scott last night.
Oh.
Yeah, because I was watching it. Literally, I was literally watching that before we started the recording.
Yeah.
I was just sitting
I
on
was
the.
laughing at your recent vlog, prep vlog, Michael. I was
Yeah.
like, Michael is literally my dad with like 3AW on, like in the morning going for a drive.
Oh yeah, bro. I listen always listen
I'm
to.
the exact same, Michael. I'm the
And
exact
it's
same.
all like the crickling like sound in the
Yeah, yeah.
background.
Yeah.
Like, when are they going to fix that? Or is that, do they just put that in
AM
just
radio.
to keep the vibes?
No, it's
I
AM.
drove my dad's car today. 3AW was on. I was actually like really enjoying it. Like I learned so much in like a 20-minute drive.
I
It's
only
for
listen
us.
to AW. No, I listen to SEN.
I see, yeah.
Yeah, because I just do the sports. But like I don't listen to music while I drive. It's just that. But I don't know. I lost my cable because I don't have Bluetooth, unfortunately. So now it's just strictly radio.
I like it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that. When driving to legs, I'm gonna G up on some SEN.
Now, when it's frosty and you just listen to SEN on the way to the gym, it's like very Melbourne-esque.
Mm.
You know what's a good leg
Eat
day
some
G
hot
up?
jam donuts.
Oh. Hmm?
What is it?
A good leg day G up, and I'm like, I always say this when we're all together, but classical music, like
Yeah.
violin, Beethoven, piano, like no singing, just like instrumental. Oh man,
I've been
hits,
listening to classical music recently when I train. It just makes me feel a little bit more relaxed
it
and
hits
not
different.
pumped up.
You
It's so
almost
It's
got
good.
to do the
so
opposite for legs. Like you got to like be more
yeah.
calm and present.
Mm.
And I find if you rev yourself up too much and you take too much stims,
Mm,
it actually can screw you.
does.
I did bulk
Uh,
nutrients pre-workout last night, which was not bad.
It was good.
Yeah,
they
it
got
was
a
all
cola
right.
one that tastes good.
Yeah, I never do pre, but I just thought that would be a little bit more of a straightforward complex, and no, it was good. Yeah. Do you guys want to wrap up there?
Yep.
We're at about an hour and 10, so
Good shit talking.
yeah, we really
As
went.
per. We're
Oh.
gonna do these more often, I think.
Yeah, we can
Yeah,
probably do it
it's
every few
fun.
weeks.
I think it's just good to catch up anyway. Like it's a good
If we
opportunity.
get the opportunity, we've got to do one in person.
Well, we
Yeah.
can do it in person,
What
but
is that?
maybe we can get a studio for that.
I reckon we
Yeah.
can wait for the one at Undefeated to be done.
You could do it at our house. You just got to set up all the mics upstairs.
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
You guys could come to my house and do it. You just got to bring the equipment. But
Yeah.
I got some room for all of us.
Yeah.
Let's do on the farm bro chat and we'll just have like the big
Outside.
farm in the
We'd have
That
background.
background.
It's only 4 mics is the problem, but we can work it out.
4 mics. That's all right. I've got one of those ones that you take to the gym, like the ones you put here.
Oh
Nah,
yeah.
but you can swing the mic so when someone
Yeah, you
talks,
can
it's
swing the mic, but I'm pretty sure if you had an extra mic, you could connect it. But
Yeah, me and you can share one.
uh,
Rick,
wow.
what flavor is that?
Hmm?
I literally don't even know. I got it because I was like, oh, no limits colors done. I'll get that. But actually happy about it.
Well,
Frosted apple.
what
Never
is,
had it.
No, twisted apple.
what is it? What brand?
Uh, Freaked energy.
No.
Oh, I thought it was a
What
monster. I was going to say I've
Yeah, I
never
thought it
seen.
was Monster too. I thought just the camera's making it look
it's
dark.
yeah, it's
the
what's it called, isn't it?
anabolics.
Yeah.
Anabolics, yeah. Is it freaked?
The secret nutrition warehouse company.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I remember that whenever anyone would come into the supplement store when I worked there, they'd be like, "Oh, I went to nutrition warehouse. They gave me this protein, but I can't find it." It's like, yeah, because it's their in-house brand and they just pretend it's not, so they get a better
Oh, so
markup.
is anabolics theirs?
Yeah,
I thought
anabolics, and there's
genetic.
another one there in
Genetics.
genetics. They're
Genetics is
both
theirs as well.
Notice every time you
both
walk in, they always recommend just that one.
Genetics
yeah,
sucks as well. Their
because they get a
protein
mad
sucks.
markup on it.
No,
Yeah.
mate. It's the foundry protein. Yeah. I'm just gonna stop it there.
Uh,
Thank
Uh,
you.
thank you for coming. Thank you for listening, everybody.